We have a massive update surrounding a certain player on the Los Angeles Lakers. Welcome to Lakers Digest. My name is Hunter Pitcoff, where we keep you up to date with everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. And based on today's title of the video, big plans ahead for one player on the Los Angeles Lakers. And I don't want to keep you guys waiting, so let's get right into it. So there was an ESPN podcast out there called The Hoop Collective, and Brian Windhorst, a very well-respected reporter out there, on-air personality for ESPN, talked about JJ Redick and the big plans he has for Austin Reaves this upcoming season. And to double down on that claim as well, Brian Windhorst said, quote, "Not only that, when there were discussions with the Lakers this summer and teams had discussions with them and Austin Reaves' name came up, it was a hard no." So what does that tell you for the Los Angeles Lakers and their future plans? When JJ Redick took this job, not only did he take this job to be the head coach of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, who are two first ballot Hall of Famers, he took this job with the intentions that Austin Reaves was going to be a big part of the Lakers' future. And the big plans that they have for Austin Reaves was a big reason why JJ Redick took this job. And is it the only reason? No, it's not the only reason. But JJ Redick seems like a very smart, well-thought-out guy, and this is also an industry that is built on relationships as well. And because of JJ Redick's a media personality and his podcast and his play-by-play commentary for the Los Angeles Lakers, for ESPN, covering teams like the Lakers, what will be different with Austin Reaves this season? Because JJ Redick and Austin Reaves are super, super tight, which happened even well before he took the head coaching job for the Lakers. In fact, these two guys were saying great things about each other when JJ Redick took the job for the Lakers. He said, quote, JJ Redick, of course, said, quote, "He's excellent. I cannot wait to coach Austin. One of the reasons I can't wait to coach him is because of his competitive spirit. He has a real mental toughness and competitive approach every single night." And on top of that as well, Austin Reaves said about the JJ Redick hire that he's a basketball genius, I think, as everybody knows, and I think he's going to make a good coach. I can't wait to get to work with him. He actually texted me yesterday waiting to get on a call. So like I said, I just can't wait to put our brains together and to go and have a good year. So Laker fans, we love to hear that. We love that JJ Redick is already forming relationships. Of course, he had the podcast with LeBron already, so this podcast is getting him some pretty good connections. And just like anything, I guess, in life, your connections are kind of what helps you get the job. And JJ Redick, despite not having any real professional coaching experience before taking this job, the Lakers felt confident enough that he was a worthy candidate to become the next head coach for the Lakers and hopefully bring them back to the promised lands that they have been desperately looking to get back to since they won the championship back in 2020. But what can JJ Redick do differently for Austin Reaves compared to what we saw last season? And I love the point that JJ Redick brought up about Austin, the fact that it's not just about what you can do on a basketball court, it's the intangibles. And I think that's what really made the Lakers front office fall in love with Austin Reaves, despite the fact that he wasn't even drafted back in 2020. And it's the fact that the man can just do everything, but he's a dog. Austin Reaves plays as hard as any player on the court, regardless of talent or status. And I think that ability to just be a grinder like that is what helped Austin Reaves get to where he is today. Of course, he came out of Newark, Arkansas, some random town in the middle of Arkansas. No one's ever heard of it other than him coming up out of it. And Austin was able to make a name for himself, going from Wichita State to Oklahoma to being undrafted to the Lakers and landing a 4-year deal as an undrafted free agent with the Los Angeles Lakers. We all know this, though. So I think what JJ Redick is going to do differently for Austin, and something that I really wish Darvin Ham did more, was put the ball in his hands more. Austin Reaves is so good in the pick and roll, and I think last year, maybe it was because D'Angelo Russell really had a resurgence the second half of the season. Of course, LeBron is very ball dominant too, but we saw Austin Reaves playing a lot more off the ball, which is something he's capable of doing. But I think JJ Redick, especially knowing that LeBron James, while he's still great, you want to save him for the playoffs, not put so much mileage on him early on in the season and prevent some injuries if you can and rest him so that he can prolong his career and the season. But Austin Reaves, when he has the ball in his hands, especially late in games, this is a guy that you absolutely trust. It's a guy that LeBron, Anthony Davis trusts, and the guy who I'm confident JJ Redick will ultimately trust here as well for him. So I think getting Austin Reaves downhill more, letting him be more of a playmaker, I think that's something that the Lakers kind of shied away from last season under Darvin Ham. And it was a big reason why the season before, when they traded Russell Westbrook away, that Austin Reaves was really able to thrive, because without Westbrook, that allowed more playmaking opportunities for Austin. And he was more aggressive, and he definitely did not have a down season at all last year. In fact, he was actually quite good. If you look at the numbers here, excuse me, guys. I can't get these graphics right. Here we go. Austin Reaves. This is a good season, right? 16 points per game, 5.5 assists. I think the three-point percentage can honestly be a little bit better. He was very streaky from beyond the arc last year. Maybe that's something that one of the best spot-up shooters of all time in JJ Redick can really help Austin Reaves with, is that three-point shot. But really good free throw shooter as well, and he's somebody who obviously really gets to the line too. So I think making Austin Reaves more of an inside-out player and letting him shoot more in rhythm and get his feet going rather than the weird inconsistency we saw with Austin Reaves last year. And I really think part of that was due to coaching. Darvin Ham was changing and tinkering with the lineups all season long. Austin Reaves was coming off the bench. Darvin Ham was calling him the next Manu Ginobili. Like, look, John Ginobili's a Hall of Famer, and I think there's a lot of similarities to the games, but it was just a little weird the way Austin was used last year. I think JJ Redick, just being as close with him, having that open line of communication, as well as just, being in the media and covering the Lakers, not directly on the Laker beat, but he covered all these teams, and he watched the Lakers and felt pretty confident that Austin Reaves is somebody who still has a lot of untapped potential. He's only 26 years old. I don't think he's close to the prime of his career yet, although he was a bit of an older player coming out of college. Like, it's crazy we're calling 22, 23-year-olds older basketball players. I mean, I'm 25 years old, and that makes me feel ancient when we're making claims like that. But I think Austin Reaves is somebody who I think we don't really know what his ceiling is, right? Because he had such low expectations. Now he's got the high expectations. Everyone's kind of all over the place. The fact that he plays for the Lakers doesn't make it any better. But to go back to that last point that we made about JJ Redick and how he loves the competitive nature of Austin Reaves, well, that's why Laker fans in this front office fell in love with him too. And it's why he's been able to handle the bright lights of LA, which not many players can do. We've seen a lot of great players come put on the purple and gold, and they fall under the pressure. But Austin is not that guy. Rob Pelinka, the general manager, also understands that Austin Reaves is him, like he said in that Memphis Grizzlies playoff series. And ultimately, for Austin Reaves here, is he due for a breakout season? I think he is. I think that he's continually gotten better every single season. I think from year 2 to year 3, which was last year, to this past season, we didn't see quite the jump that maybe we expected, and there's a lot of factors why, like D'Angelo Russell playing really well. That could be a guy who gets traded, maybe lack of understanding of their role, maybe not being used properly the right way, or maybe Austin Reaves just, not getting better or as better as we would have liked. But I think this season could be a season where Austin Reaves really gets featured, because it seems like JJ Redick has a clear plan for him. Again, we don't know what that plan necessarily is yet. We're still far away from basketball, but we'll definitely keep you guys covered on that when we hear more and as training camp and preseason ramps up. Again, we are in September right now, so we still got just a few weeks before we really start seeing any crazy on-court basketball action. But I am really excited for Austin Reaves. I do apologize, guys. I feel like I don't talk about him enough on this platform. Me personally, Hunter Pitcoff, but at the same time, maybe it just goes without saying that Austin Reaves really is him, and JJ Redick's big plans for him really could be legit. And on top of that, Austin Reaves could end up really becoming that third star on a night-to-night basis that Laker fans and the organization really want. So again, guys, thank you so much for listening. Leave a comment as well if you agree that Austin Reaves is going to take that next step forward and JJ Redick's going to unlock something. Or maybe you disagree. Maybe you think that Austin Reaves shouldn't be this untouchable piece that the front office and JJ Redick views him as, and maybe they should be more willing to part with him to maybe help improve the roster. But thank you all for listening regardless. This is Lakers Digest. See ya.